Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Fan Experience Podcast. Thank you for rejoining us. We are on episode 26. So we are through 25 episodes already, a quarter of the way to 100. So thank you very much for all you dedicated listeners for coming back. So the Fan Experience, for those of you that are newcomers, is a sports podcast for sports fans by sports fans. We give you guys a platform to tell your stories about all your iconic fan experiences and what made you the sports fan that you are today. We'll put you under the lights and behind the podium. Come on, tell your story. We've had wonderful stories thus far. You could always catch up with those on YouTube, Facebook, and also Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere podcasts are stored and played. As always, the podcast is presented and produced by Playing the Field. You can go to playthefielddating.com and go and find your MVP. We try to connect all you sports fans with other sports fans to find somebody to date romantically, or even just friends to just go to games with, or play some pickup basketball with, or join a fantasy football league with. So beta is live now. Playthefielddating.com. Mobile apps are due out in the next few months. All right. So as always, I am your host, Mike Katos. Alongside me is my co-host, Rick Molina. Rick, how we doing tonight?
It's good, man. Doing well. Just finished watching a little bit of the Astros Rays. A lot to get to. So let's get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Astros hit a walk-off home run. Carlos Correa, walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. Down 3-0, and won last night, won again tonight. And, I can't say that a team hasn't come back from down 3-0 before. 16 years ago, you're very familiar. Well, we all are very familiar with what happened.
Yeah. Let's not forget to remind the viewers, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not gonna forget. The Boston Red Sox come back from a 3-0 deficit to take over from the Yankees and go to the World Series and end up winning the World Series. It was nice to see on my part, not so much on Rick's part.
Correct.
Yeah. But do they think that they could do it?
First of all, good evening, everybody. Welcome to new viewers. Welcome to the show. Interesting question. I got to say, they got a little mojo going right now. They won a game 4 last night. Dusty Baker leaving Zach Greinke in there with the Rays threatening in the 6th, and then them going on and winning game 4. Altuve with the yips, throwing the first base over there. That's another, sort of problem going on over there. And yet here come these Astros, on their revenge tour, pulling out of game 5. Carlos Correa hitting a home run. I think there's a shot, man. Look, the Rays are a team that plays that sort of small ball, that sort of analytics baseball. They try to get the right pitcher and they try to get the right matchup. The Astros are an experienced team. So even being down 3-0 is not something that they get rattled. It's a situation where they're like, they can't come back from. They've been there. They've done that before. They won a World Series with extenuating circumstances. But the Astros are a team with experience. They're a team with pride, and they're a team playing with a chip on their shoulder. And you could see it building, man. It's kind of like a snowball here. Not sure who's going for game 6, but I'll tell you this much. If the Astros can find a way to win a game 6, I wouldn't be surprised if they take this whole thing. It would not surprise me at all. And if they did win, they're going to shut a lot of people up. And that revenge tour is going to continue. And wouldn't surprise me if they won a World Series. So let's wait and see. Right now it's 3-2. They got a little mojo going. So we have to wait to see who the game 6 starters are and just take it from there. But right now, house money on the Astros right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting if they could force that game 7, because I mean all the
could you imagine
on that side, their side, and it's be interesting. But that's what makes for good baseball, right?
But you saw Carlos Correa after he hit that home run. He kind of watched it, flipped the bat. Like
I did not.
I was like, all right, the Rays better remember that. They better come out tomorrow and remember that.
Gotta assume they win 7 if they get there.
Hey, listen, you're right.
I agree. All the momentum is on their side.
On their side. I mean, if they were to get to a game 7 and blow it, I mean, that'd be the ultimate justice. But that'd be the ultimate justice.
Yeah, well, let's see how it plays out.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the big news. Obviously, we talked about it on Tuesday with Le'Veon Bell getting cut from the New York Jets.
Yeah,
and past 2 days he's been suiting with trying to decide on what teams he wants to go to. And a few hours ago, it has been decided that Le'Veon Bell wants to go to the Chiefs and is close to signing an agreement to go on a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. And boy, I said the Chiefs have been, slow start thus far this year, but they had Le'Veon Bell and nothing but fireworks after that once he gets acclimated into that playbook.
Yeah, I think that for the Chiefs, it's a great signing in the sense that Le'Veon comes in hungry, wants to win a Super Bowl. The Chiefs are kind of, I don't want to say going through the motions the first 4 or 5 games of the season, but they lost to the Raiders. I mean, they need a little jump start in that locker room, and I think Le'Veon coming in there sort of gives them that. And I think it also for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it's going to help him later down in the season. He's a rookie right now. Once he starts hitting that rookie wall, you got a guy there who's been there, done that, played in big games. He'll be able to carry the ball, give it to him 15, 20 times. Andy Reid will find a way to get him involved in the passing game and make him even more lethal when they get into the playoffs. So I think it's a good signing for them. I think for Le'Veon himself, look, I think it was a mistake that he left Pittsburgh. He had a stable environment. Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, who I think is one of the most underrated coaches in the NFL, and Mike Tomlin there. And he decided to leave because obviously he wanted the bigger contract, and he went to the Jets and played 18 games, got $28 million, and it blew up in the Jets' face. But I think for the Chiefs, it's a good signing. He'll be able to remember it gets cold down there too, so he's played in that kind of weather before in these playoff games. So great signing for him, and great signing for Le'Veon and the Chiefs. And as far as the Jets go, look, play the rookies, play the young guys, fire Adam Gase, and get a coach in there who's going to be able to nurture.
Just get rid of him. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't understand what the issue is, but it's the Jets, so I guess I do.
Yeah.
So we should
and then
have a quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we bring on our next guest, we should, have a quick word for our sponsors. Let me just pop this up here. All right. So support for the fan experience is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
Yeah, Mike, and just thinking about COVID and quarantine, and you have a damn bush down there, and you're hacking away, and almost hacked my testicles off over the quarantine, and then I found Manscaped. Mike. Go ahead. Yeah,
hold on.
Technical difficulties, everybody. So I'll finish the read over here from Manscaped here. So that's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer, the Manscaped engineering.
Right, perfect.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm back.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I figured we can talk about the product as well, and show our viewers what we got working here. We're not going to show you the end result, guys. So
yeah, I know you're not going to see the newspaper and all that stuff. But this is the carry-on bag right here. So there you go.
Yep, carry-on bag. Here's the little buzzer it comes with, the nice little LED light.
That's where you keep the charger and stuff in here.
And it also comes with some. Yeah, the charger. Comes with some ball toner and some anti-chafing deodorant, ball deodorant.
Yeah. Ladies, this is what we go through as men, ladies. So you're watching this show, got
a nice little.
Yeah, there it is, the good old newspaper.
Got a nice little newspaper that you can stand over. And
people say the
it's
newspaper business.
it's great. It works. Yeah,
You
can read it too.
Just to read
got
there?
some funny stuff. Yeah. So yeah, let's just tell them what they can get. All of our viewers right now. If you're listening to us speak right now, we want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Let's get that bush to tush clean. You get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FANEXPERIENCE at manscaped.com. It's time to make your testes their besties.
And the best of all, you get 20% off free shipping with the code FANEXPERIENCE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com, and use code FANEXPERIENCE. Your balls will thank you.
Yes, we want to thank Manscaped for sponsoring this podcast. And
Indeed.
please, everybody, go on manscaped.com. Take advantage of the 20% off and free shipping. Promo code FANEXPERIENCE.
Ladies, is a good gift for your boyfriends, husbands, dads, grandfathers.
Absolutely. Holidays are coming up. So please. All right. Now it is time. Without further ado, we will bring on our next guests. They are the hosts of the BS Sports Show on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Now joining us are Brendan Azoff and Stefan Rosner.
Hey, guys doing?
How we doing?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing great, man. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you, and you guys killed that sponsor part. So well done. I'm watching backstage going, wow, that's how you get the views.
Hey, we're trying, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, you know what? It's all for them. Like they came and contacted us. They wanted us to sponsor, so we want to return the favor,
Definitely.
So, well, guys, it's an absolute pleasure for you guys joining us. So thank you very much for coming on. Let's we pretty much started the same way when you guys come on. So why do you love sports? What really got you hooked onto sports at a young age, or what was that moment that really got you hooked?
I guess I'll kick things off. So I started playing hockey actually when I was 3 years old, and my earliest memory is being carried as a 6-month-old to a Ranger game, and I still have the ticket stub from that game. So I think that for me, that's where I started falling in love with sports, and then I got the walker out trying to skate and stumbling all over the place, and eventually I got the hang of it, and I think that from there on, it just catapulted. From the age of 3 and up, I played both baseball and hockey competitively. Made my first travel team where it was really competitive at 6 years old for hockey, and just ever since then it's been phenomenal. And the two teams behind me are two of the reasons why I'm still in love with sports, even though there's a lot of disappointment over the years. But that's really where my love for sports started, and has continued to keep growing.
Yeah, like what Brendan said too. For me, it was more playing the sports first before watching it. And I just remember joining my first team, being part of a team, making that friend group. And that's something that's driven me to be on sport teams. If I'm playing house league, travel, whatever, just being on a team, making those new connections, friends, the bond. I mean, your experience when you're traveling with your teammates and going to tournaments, going out to eat, those are moments I'll never forget. That's why sports is such a passion of mine.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really all about that. That community aspect. I completely agree with you, Stefan. And it's, that's really what brings it all together. Because really, it's sports aren't the same without the people around you, all cheering for the same thing. So yeah, so you guys went and you studied sports management and at Cortland, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So tell us a little bit about the sports management courses, and what did you learn through going to Cortland?
Oh, Brendan, we learned how to do other things besides schoolwork, right?
Oh yeah, definitely at Cortland.
Well, it's
Cortland,
very big
there's
on
about
sports management.
There's probably
right?
It is. Cortland's a big school for teaching, and which after going to Cortland, you have a newfound respect for teachers. Let me tell you, I used to think they were all these straight and narrow types people, but no, not at Cortland. They're not. But everyone, we like to say that there's various majors at the school, but everyone majors in one thing, and it's having fun. But for sport management, it's really unique. If somebody told me you can go to college for 4 years and just learn about the history of sports, how to market sports, sell sports, write about sports, I'd be like, that's a dream, right? And then Cortland, we found that, and it was pretty cool, the amount of people you meet that have been in the industry, the people like Stefan that you meet that become your friends, and sport management at Cortland was a really great experience.
Yeah, for me, going to school, I saw sports management, and to be honest, I had no idea what it was. I was like, you know what? I'm signing up for this. Let's do it. First day, the teacher goes, so you're all doing this because you like sports? Everyone's hands went up. And then you realize over the years, okay, what you can do. I didn't realize, and I don't think Brendan either, until I think it was our sophomore second semester that sports journalism was even an option in this major, or podcasting. We took a class together where it was, all right, guys, make a podcast, do one episode. Me, Brendan, and a few other people did it, and we were thinking, wow, this is a lot of fun. Let's do this. And here we are, sport journalists writing and doing podcasts weekly. So it's been a pleasure. But yeah, I had no idea what sport management was. And then over the years, we figured it out.
Guys, that's an incredible story, the way you guys met. That's kind of the same way me and Mike met. Like, he's a Met fan, I'm a Yankee fan, and we met at a Met Yankee game about 10, 11 years ago. But so tell me about this. You guys, so now Brendan, you're a Rangers fan. Stefan, you're an Islanders fan.
Perfect.
How did BS come together? Like, you guys are doing a podcast, but how did the idea for the show just sort of come together for you guys?
Yeah, so we've been since, I think it was it feels like forever ago, but since our junior or sophomore year, when we realized that we both wanted to do sport journalism and podcasting, we started making our own sites. We had a couple of sites. We were both writing, using social media, all that kind of stuff, going, bouncing from one site to another with our ideas. And then we joined the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. And the guy goes, what about the BS Sports Show? We never wanted to do it for the sole reason that we wanted to be serious. The BS obviously automatically makes it, it's a laughing stock. We didn't, if we want to get somebody like a professional player, hey, come on the BS show, they might go, all right, no, probably not. But then we realized, though, it lets us it's a personality. We have a personality part of the show. We know our stats. That's how it came to be. But first off, the funny story of me meeting Brendan actually came on Facebook. So I'm looking for a roommate freshman year.
Yeah.
I'm messaging this kid, talking to him. We're talking back and forth, and finally goes, yeah, I'm rooming with somebody else. Sorry. And I was like, oh, dang. So eventually we get to school. First day of school. We're in the cafeteria or whatever eating, and he sees me. I see him. I remember his Facebook picture, and he goes, oh, you're Stefan, right? And I was like, it's Stefan, and then the rest is history. But that's how I met, and then, yeah.
Well, your parents spelled your name wrong, so that's not my fault. And the not rooming thing, that was a separate issue. We were all flustered. We were so young back then, but it worked out for the best in the end. And yeah, I think that part of the discovery of the podcast is that you see all these podcasts that come out that are about, you have Rangers fans or Islanders fans talking about their team. And very rarely do you see the opposing sides come at each other and kind of argue their points and also agree on other things. So I thought that gave us a unique aspect and viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the Mets because I'm a Yankee fan as well, but nobody wants to talk about the Mets, so it's really fun.
Wow. Okay, Mike, you heard that.
No.
The Mets are out.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy talking about the Mets, but it's a depressing subject, and we want positivity on our show, so it's hard to.
Yeah, well, we got we got Uncle Moneybags now, so
I'll give you the credit though. The Mets had the highest batting average of any team in the MLB this season. So if you didn't know that,
look at that, they still didn't make the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, pitching was MIA, but yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
so tell us, you want to go ahead? Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Yeah.
No.
I was going to say, so tell our viewers more about your show. I want to know a little more about the show. I know you guys talk about hockey and baseball, but does it encompass anything else, or is it mainly just hockey and baseball for the most part?
Well, I mean, it's mainly hockey and baseball. We're actually transitioning to just hockey now because we realize that that's our avenue, and we played together at college, club hockey, and I think that's where our interests are best suited. We have our personality as well that goes into it. We like to talk about stuff that we see on Twitter. You always see some crazy stuff on there. There was actually a Zamboni that just caught on fire on the ice, and that's the type of thing.
Looks like Mike. Go ahead. We'll keep it going, Mike.
Yeah, but so that's the type of stuff we like to, bring our personality into it, lighten it up at points. But we also like to dive into the actual stuff that's going on now in the off season, more focused on free agency, trades, the draft that just happened. But yeah, mainly sport talk on that show.
And then, Brendan's got a bit of a temper. So there's some points when things really piss him off that I just go, you know what? I'm going to back away. If you could hear me, and let him do his thing for a minute. And then I'll be like, try to calm him down a little bit. His face turns bright red. It's great.
Yeah, we definitely get a little
Yeah, we get a little hot. We get a hot.
I mean, we're Jets fans, so I mean, that's
Oh
all.
God. Well, I'm
God,
a Cowboys fan, so it's
Oh,
not.
we'll get into that a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a fantasy fan and I haven't won a game yet. So
Oh man, I'm close to you, man. I'm back-to-back champion. I'm 1-4 right now. Just horrible luck, and now I got Le'Veon Bell taking over in the Chiefs, and I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So that's not going to help my. Yeah, I was really hoping he'd go to the Bills or the Dolphins, but
I'm kind of praying this. Yeah, keep going.
No, the Chiefs are going to improve with Bell on the roster for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of praying the season gets canceled so I get my money back. That's really what I don't want anything bad to happen to anyone, but on the off chance that they go, you know what, too much, it's enough. I get the 50 back in my pocket and I get to spend it on something else. So
There you go. Like next season.
Yes. So talk to us about, Worldwide Sports Radio Network, like how they come calling, how they, contact you and say, so you didn't have the podcast. They wanted you to make the podcast, correct?
So we've had podcasts throughout the years with different titles, different names. We tried working with one site, it didn't work out. And I don't have a huge following on Twitter, but I'm working my way up there. And I always post about our shows, our writing. And they reached out to me one day and said, hey, can we jump on a phone call? I jumped on a phone call. After like 20 minutes, I was sold. It was, live, which we couldn't do anywhere else because you usually have to pay for that. And we're broke college kids, so we don't have the money for that. They said you would have a live show, weekly advertisements, all that stuff. And I thought it gave us the best avenue to not only improve, but to get our stuff out there. I've been doing all the editing and everything for myself. And finally, I was able to really focus on just the show and work on, because I would stay up late at night on Audacity and edit every time someone said the word like or anything out of the ordinary, any stumble, hours, upload to social media to do all that stuff. And now I get to just really focus on the show and building our brand. So this site that we do now has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
What he said, he pretty much summed it up. I remember him calling me and saying, hey, we got this opportunity to go live on a network. And I was like, whoa, my eyes kind of lit up because we just did it for fun at that point. We weren't really thinking about what could be. So now it kind of gives us a newfound life on it. Like, hey, maybe we could actually get somewhere if we keep pushing.
Yeah, but that's the truth, though. It's fun. I mean, you're
100%.
talking about sports. I mean, other than, like you said, the editing and making the promos and drumming up the engagement and stuff like that. Like that stuff takes a little bit of work. But once those cameras roll, it's
just you and your friend talking sports. Yeah,
exactly. So that's really what it's all about. Me and Rick have been having a great time. For the past 25 episodes now.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started, I'm not going to use any names because I'm not trying to, but we were paired with somebody who really couldn't speak first off and didn't know, and the person didn't know their stuff. So I'd be sitting there, and when I say I edited out every time they said the word like, I really hope this person isn't listening. Every time they said the word like, in my head, I was like, all right, I got to edit that out. So I'd sit back. Let's say the episode was an hour, and I'd spend 3 hours because not that it was, I'm not going to be able to fix it, but it looked bad on us because I feel like if you use like every second, you sound a little unintelligent. I'm sorry to say it. You do. Mm-hmm. It's a filler. But the fact that I would warn her too. So now it's a girl. I'd warn this person beforehand and say, listen, let's hold back on the likes just because it makes my life a living hell. Oh, sure, fine. First word out of the mouth, like, and it's just that it was tough. And finally, the reason I was staying with them is because they were paying for us to do the live shows, and I thought that was the most important thing. If you don't do live, then you're a podcast, not a radio show, and I wanted to be closer to that feel, that pressure of being live and getting used to that. And finally, when I decided, we have this opportunity, let me break away from that because not that it was toxic, but it wasn't fun. It was more, all right, is this person going to mess up? Is this going to have to happen? Now I don't have to worry because I'm relying on Brendan. If Brendan messes up, I got his back because we've been working together forever. I mean, I think I corrected you on the last show. You pronounced some hockey guy's name wrong, whether the wrong player, but it happens.
It does. So, God, you said I'm the angry one, right?
Yeah, for real, man.
Angry. Well, I haven't had an outlet to let off the steam from the 2 years I'm trying to figure that out.
Stefan, your face is turning red.
Oh, it's Stefen.
I know.
Well, it's worse. I've been called worse, and so it's okay when people say. No, the thing is, though, is my parents spelled it Stefen, and they said no one will ever get it wrong. Well, I have yet to get to a point in my 22 years on this earth that someone's got it right the first time. So It is what it is. I mean, my middle name is Paul. That's a lot easier, but I don't think I look like a Paul, so we'll just not even go there.
Yeah.
Rick.
Oh, yeah. Man. So let's talk about your niche. You guys are big hockey guys, obviously. You found your niche in hockey. Let's talk a little bit about hockey, talk a little about the Rangers, talk a little about the Islanders. Rangers, obviously, they just got the first pick. They drafted the kid Lafreniere.
Yep.
Did I say that correctly?
You
and
did.
then the Islanders are on a playoff run. How do you see their futures playing out? I mean, tell us, some of our fans or hockey fans, what do you think is in store for our local hockey teams coming up in the next couple of years here?
Brendan, you could go first because you guys got eliminated first. So
thanks. Wow. Shot fired.
I like that one. That was good, actually. I want to get better one. But no, I mean, for the Rangers, first we'll start with them before I take a little dump on the Islanders because of that. But they got the first overall pick, and anytime you can get the first overall pick, it was their first one since '65. Yeah. So really is going to solidify that franchise. And they re-signed Tony DeAngelo today. They re-signed Alexander Georgiev. So now they're building that base. And I think they're 1 year away still from really competing because once they get these younger kids to come up, they replace the older, slower guys on defense. That's when you're going to start to see them push. But this team has the potential to be in the top 5 again. And I think they're going to finish first overall in scoring just because of how much they're adding. The players that are younger that only had 20 points are now they're going to come up, put 40 up maybe. And if they do that, it's going to be a lot to stop. But again, it's going to be, can they stop the other team from scoring? Right. So right now I could see them finishing in that 7-8 spot and making the playoffs, but I also wouldn't be surprised they fall just short. But they're exciting. And for the Islanders, as exciting as the Rangers are coming up, they have been good and they're going to stay good, but they're also getting old. And I don't know, man, it looks like the Rangers are really close to passing them. I can't really think of any young guys on that team. Anybody is good at least. And that guy, Matt Barzal, is a free agent and he might get offer sheeted. Oh, that's a bad situation to be in for an Islanders fan.
It's just not happening. Barzal is not getting offer sheeted. So, yeah, the biggest thing for the Islanders is locking up their 2 RFAs. They had a third in Devon Taves. They trade him to Colorado for 2 second-round picks. Not that it clears up cap room, but now it allows the Islanders to, spend more money on their 2 RFAs and then potentially sign a free agent. The Islanders have been waiting for some winger to play alongside Barzal. The problem is with the flat cap, every team's in financial trouble. So you're not going to go after a big-name guy. You're going to hopefully have prospects within like Wallstrom or Bellows step up and play their game. But the biggest thing for the Islanders is they have a goalie in that now, in Ilya Sorokin, who they've been waiting to come over. They drafted him back in 2014. After his contract was up in the KHL, he's like, oh, maybe I'll come over. Decides not to. Smart move because the Islanders, who wants to come over? Not many people. Finally, he decides to come over, and now the question is he going to be as good as the guy the Rangers have in net, in Igor Shesterkin? Because they're both neck and neck when they played in the KHL, and if Igor Shesterkin's shown anything, it's that Ilya Sorokin could be as dominant. And for the Islanders, I mean, their biggest thing has been scoring, but the other thing is you can't allow goals. If you're not going to score a lot of goals, you need a backstop and net to do that. And I really do believe that Ilya Sorokin for the next 10 plus years is going to be the starting netminder. And hopefully, yes, this team's not getting any younger. They're getting old, and it's sad. But I feel like the sport of hockey, teams are going younger, faster. That's the game now. You're trying to get as young as possible and fast. But the thing is, though, sometimes when that happens, you get to the playoffs and get knocked around a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, let me ask you guys this: when I was growing up, I mean, I saw the '94 Rangers. I mean, I saw that whole run. I remember watching, Game 6, Stefan Matteau, right? Game 7, Stefan Matteau with the Devils, Vancouver. I grew up through that era, and at the time, people thought, "Wow, hockey is going to be a dominant force." What do you think? Why do you think hockey? Because you watch a game, like people say this to me all the time. You go to a hockey game, it's the most exciting thing you've ever seen, right? It's crazy. Yeah. Fans are nuts. People, it's just great. But why don't you think it has the same popularity as other sports in the U.S.? What has happened in hockey that the popularity isn't as big as, say, the NFL or the NBA? Because I remember at the time when the Rangers won the Cup, the NHL was as popular or more popular than the NBA. Yeah. So what has happened, and how does hockey sort of gain that popularity back in the States?
So, I think it's. Go first. No, okay, I think it's the speed of the game and also the knowledge. I mean, you're watching a game, and people could watch the game, but with the offsides, icings, penalties, right off the bat, it's so fast. There's no out of bounds. The game keeps going. Many people don't understand it. When they don't understand what's going on, they tune out. Like, oh, okay, this looks cool, but I have no idea what it is. Me and Brendan, growing up watching the sport, I mean, my girlfriend always said, I don't understand icing. I don't understand offsides. And I try to explain to her, but I've been watching it for 15, 16 years. So to me, I don't have to think. It's offsides. That's the rule. People that are watching the sport for the first time think it's cool, but you have to really sit down and understand the rules to be, oh, that's the play. That's the right play. That's offsides. And that's why when you're at a game, the crowd goes nuts. Everyone goes nuts. You might not know the rules, but you're seeing what everyone else is going. You get into it, the atmosphere is there, it's locked in, it's an arena. I think for other sports like football, I mean, yes, there's penalties, but you're throwing a football and trying to run that way. That's the plan. Baseball, try to hit it that way, run the base. I mean, it's not that it's basic, but I think hockey just has those little rules that make it exciting if you understand it. And when you don't, you're a little confused.
Yeah, so I'll take the little more historical route but I think that it stems from the league being Canadian and in America, that they didn't really share revenue well early on, and it really put the league back. And like you said, they did have an advantage on the NBA. They had more attendance on the NBA. They had better TV viewership than the NBA when it first started. And then they started to bicker over the money, and they went with another deal. And then they had all these lockouts, which we've seen numerous times over the last year. I don't think anybody does lockouts worse than the NHL. They just completely shut down. They don't resolve anything. Everyone thought the baseball one was bad. We've seen that for the last 4 out of the last 20 years with the NHL. So I think that that's where it stems from. And the most basic reason I could say for it not really picking up as fast as other sports is the puck is so small that many people can't see it. And I've had so many people look at me and go, I can't find the puck. And I just, like he said, watching it all this time, I don't have to look at the puck. I know where it's going to be going. So it's easier for me to follow it. But people are like, oh, put that arcade ring around it. And then I'm sitting there like, no, don't do that because it'll ruin the game for me. So I think that's one of the main reasons why it's just so small and people have a hard time tracking it, especially on TV. But when you go to a game, there is nothing more exciting than seeing somebody get tossed around, how fast these guys are moving. And if you have the opportunity, I know it's expensive, to sit up close and you just see how fast and big these guys really are, you get a newfound respect of the game.
And when you're sitting at a rink and watching him in person, like you said, when he's sitting close, you're watching on TV. These guys are huge, not just tall. They're huge people. But also the other thing is, you look around and it's the crowd. You're like one group. Everyone hates the refs, the noise, everything about it is not even before the game starts. I feel like every time I walk into Nassau Coliseum or Barclays or hopefully the new arena with the Islanders, you walk in and you just look around. For like 20 seconds, you're locked in a daze. Okay, it's hockey time. And that's how you get into it. I just feel just the aura of being in a game is just, I feel like the best thing.
Yeah, that new arena, it's looking really nice. As far as the drawings and the mock-ups there. You're not too far from there, right, Stefen?
So right now I'm 15 minutes from Nassau Coliseum. Belmont's probably another 25 minutes, but the problem is with rush hour traffic, with the train. That was the biggest thing with Barclays. My dad wouldn't go to Barclays Center because it's all right, fine, you're paying $30 for the ticket, but then you got to pay for the train round trip. Food, you're going to be hungry after 3 hours of trying to get out there. If the trains go down, what do you do? For Belmont, yes, it's going to be the home of the Islanders, but at the same time, you're still going to have those issues that are going to affect people. Plus, it's a new arena, which means the tickets are probably going to be more expensive to start, especially with the lockout. They have to make all this money back up. It'll be tough, but if I'm sitting at home and watching it, there's no bathroom lines, free food. So I'll watch any hockey game, but I definitely want to get out there as much as I can, especially being home now from college for the first time, where I could really. Nassau Coliseum is 15 minutes away, but I've been in school for the last 4 years. So this is the first year where I'm actually considering getting season tickets for their last season. Why not if I'm home? Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm guilty of not ever attending a hockey game in person. And
you got
it's on my bucket list and it's been on it, but I definitely want to hit up, the Coliseum before that's done.
I'll tell you one thing. If you can go next year, and your first hockey game's a Rangers-Islanders game, you're going to have the time of your life. Not only the product that's on the ice, but just the people. You'll go, and you could be quiet the whole time, and somebody will get up behind you if you're wearing the other jersey and just throw something at you, and it'll just cause 4 other people to defend you who have no idea who you are, and it's just a beautiful thing. People are screaming at the top of their lungs. It's awesome.
Just make sure when you buy the tickets, you're not that one. Are you an Islander fan or a Ranger fan?
I'm a Rangers fan. Mike,
I'm an Islanders fan. Well, because
stop there. You're good. There you go. So if you're an Islander fan, just make sure you don't get that one ticket. That's the one seat available. That's Islanders, and then everyone else is Rangers. Because no matter how that game goes, you're not going to want to be. I mean, you're going to want to be there if the Islanders are winning, because then you could turn around. But for me, I'm really small, and I'd get my butt kicked. You gotta keep quiet.
Yeah. So next year when they open back up, God willing that they open back up. I definitely want to take a trip out there to whether it's the MSG or or the Coliseum. It doesn't matter.
I've never seen a game at MSG, actually. I want to do that, but
If you're complaining about $30 tickets at Barclays.
No.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah. I mean, that might not be for you there, but
At least Madison Square Garden, though, it takes me right in Penn Station's. I don't have to, walk and. Yeah.
You gotta go. I had the opportunity to play at both MSG and the Coliseum, and that was really cool. The Nassau Coliseum one was a game before it started, so there was nobody there. But the Garden one was those mini mites that get to skate on in between the periods, and we were all hitting each other at like 9 years old. The crowd was oohing and eyeing, and we're sitting there like, oh, look what we're doing. So that was really fun. But both places are my favorite two places to watch a game, and maybe I'm biased because I'm from New York, but they are really cool. Like the Coliseum is so small and on top of each other that you feel like you're on the ice, and the Garden's just the Garden.
It's terrible and amazing at the same time.
Yep.
Because you get there and you sit down and you go, wow, this place is an absolute shithole. But then you're like, all right, well, it's cheapest probably around the entire NHL. There's no bad seat except the way top row. So it's great. And you suck it up and you move on. It's great.
Awesome. And so, you guys had some pretty good answers to this question on the backgrounder. So how has sports changed your life? How has it affect, you had some pretty good answers on there. If you guys remember them.
I'll go first. So not a sob story, but I was very small growing up. Like I was probably like a foot or two shorter than the shortest person in the class. And that came with bullying and stuff like that. And it happens and whatever. It makes me the person I am today. But when I finally was able to play sports, I was finally looked at as an athlete, not just this kid that couldn't, no one really gave me a chance. And sports gave me that pathway to show what I got. I'm a goalie in hockey. I played varsity for 2 years. I played in college. When I was younger, I didn't think that, I wasn't even allowed to try out for my JV team because the coach said, oh, we're not looking for short goalies. And that was it. He didn't let me try out. So my freshman year, I tried out for varsity, knowing I wasn't going to make it, but I'm going to try out. Coach said, I like what you do, come back next year. Tried it again, didn't make it. And then finally my junior year made it. And I met Brendan playing hockey. So without, trying to persevere through that, making all these, I talked about being on the team and that atmosphere. Didn't have a lot of friends growing up. And when I finally was able to play sports, then I got the friends, the respect. Brendan's like family now for the last 4 years. So sports have made me who I am today. And it's given me an outlet to do this and play. I still play hockey and I love it. And I can't imagine not playing.
Yeah, no, friendships are definitely the main aspect of how hockey and sports in general change your lives. Most of the people I still hang out with today are from hockey and baseball. So I think that's a given. For me, the competitive nature of sports really is what changed my life. Like now everything I do, I have that drive and that passion. And I think that's a big part. And especially in today's day and age where you see people that are always trying to correct you and there's people that are trying to monitor everything you do, I think that drive and competitiveness comes in even more because you're going to have to push through the little bit of adversity that's going to be thrown at your way. It's a given at this point. But yeah, for me, changed my life where I got to work out every day. I got a reason that I wanted to do that. I met all these great people. I have relationships now with people that are up in sports. I know people like Stefen that I met through college playing hockey. And it's just really, I think friendships is the main one, but that competitiveness is a close second.
To piggyback off of what Brendan said is we picked a major that's very competitive. It's ultra competitive. And sports really got us, ready for that because now we're on the job hunt. Things are just opening up. You got to push and push and push. And when people say no, keep going, because if you don't do that, you're going to sit at home and collect unemployment until that runs out. And for us, we're doing this obviously because we want to do it. It's fun. But at the same time, we're trying to prove and, build that resume and showcase, hey, during quarantine, we didn't just sit back and wait for things to happen. We tried to make things happen. So that competitive nature.
Guys, let me tell you this, just with the spend the 30 minutes or whatever talking, I think you guys are going to do great in this show.
Thank you.
And just watching you guys and the energy and the passion you have. The last thing I almost want to, I hate saying this to people because people think I'm crazy when I say this, but the last thing I want you guys to do is go out there in the real world and get into a corporate job. Like, I think what you guys are doing is great. Keep doing that and just ride that train until it takes you wherever you need to go. Have you guys thought about making just doing this? I know you want to build up your resume, and we all got to pay bills. Yeah. But I would say stick to this. Would you agree? Is that the play, or do you guys really want to go out there and try yourselves in the real world out there?
Well, I think for both of us, I could speak. I mean, he'll speak in a second, but
Yeah.
sport journalism is really, we would like talking sports, but we love writing about it. And we both write for numerous sites, paid contributors, and that's a stepping stone. We obviously want to get as big as possible, but again,
Right.
it's really hard right now. But I mean, I have a full-time job. I work 8 to 4 every day.
Okay.
I come home and I do my show on Tuesdays, and I write when I can. I mean, it's tough to write. I'm exhausted when I get home. I just started. I started last week, and I fell asleep at 8:30 the other day, and I haven't gone to sleep before 2 a.m. since, I don't know, I was 7. So it's tough, but no, we definitely. I mean, yeah, I got to work and make money and do that. But at the same time, though, if I could do this and talk sports and write about sports and just be paid to just watch, pretty much get paid to do what you love. That's what they say. If you love what you do, you're not working. So if I could do that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, this would not be a job if we got paid to do this. Like, it's too much fun. I mean, even this, we just met you two and we're having a good time just talking about stuff. So, I mean, for me, this would be awesome. Exactly. This would be one of the best things that you could possibly do outside of playing, which I had to toss that dream aside a long time ago. Once you see somebody that's going pro go right around you, go, yeah, maybe I should think about this. But for me, doing this it's definitely opened up some doors. Like he said, we've been writing. I write for the Hockey Writers now, and I'm meeting people doing that. And I was actually substitute teaching during the day because COVID, they're hiring. I was babysitting.
No, but tell them what you were doing.
So, well, it's not choice, but I sat in the classroom while these kids are on their Zoom calls with their real teacher because they don't want to come in. If somebody's going to pay you to sit there and just watch kids learn,
100%.
I think that's a second greatest job behind podcasting. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but you're not substituting. You're babysitting the kids while their teacher's teaching them the class.
But when somebody asks me what I do, I say I substitute teach, and look, everybody goes, "Wow, what a guy!" Right? You're really stepping in. You must be a smart, educated dude. But they don't know like that. I'm just sitting there and telling these kids, hey, you turn on that laptop and listen to what your real teacher has to say.
Well, what they have you teaching? Environmental science? You're a sport management major. You chose that because you didn't want to do science. My first day,
they gave me science, and science is the only class in high school that I had to take every single test like 7 times. So I looked at the person that was giving me the thing, and I said, I'm not going to have to teach them anything because these kids are going to come out of that class worse than when they walked in. And he said, no, you just have to sit there. So I was like, oh, thank you. Because that would have been awful.
For our viewers who have children out there, now you know these substitute teachers don't really know what's going on out there.
Well, most of them,
truth is exposed here, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Fan Experience.
Most of them have to get certified, but due to COVID, they're just taking people that pass the background checks and everything just for 1 year. So if I wanted to do this next year, they would look at me and laugh in my face. So next year, your kids could learn again.
There you go. Final one from me. Obviously you guys do hockey. It's a great sport. How do we get more kids involved in it? I mean, it can be expensive or whatever, but you guys are big hockey guys, proponents of the game. How do we get more kids involved to play hockey, to love the game, to love the sport, and to be involved?
Definitely. I mean, I know near me they sometimes do free clinics or, come down and skate with your parents and do that. I think the biggest thing for hockey is it is expensive, but at the same time, you get on that ice and it's a bonding thing with your family. They have open skates. You don't even need the sticks, the pucks. You don't need that stuff. Go skate around on a Friday night or Saturday during the day. I think it's like $5 or $10. You go in, see if the kid likes it. You'll know right away if the kid's really going for it or not. It's tough going on skates. I mean, you look at these athletes and you just think for a sec, they're playing a game on ice skates. It blows your mind for like a split second. But I think, just getting kids involved doesn't have to be ice hockey. I play roller hockey and ice when I was growing up. They have deck hockey. I mean, just playing the sport and learning it. Again, every sport that you play is building some type of skill that you're going to need in life, whatever it is, competitiveness, responsibility, athletic, anything you need to do in life where it'll make you a better person. Again, teamwork, all that stuff. Just by signing the kids up to play 4-on-4 deck hockey. You don't need the skates, the expensive equipment. I mean, I didn't get my new pair of goalie stuff till my senior year of high school. I got hand-me-downs and stuff like that because goaltending is a very expensive thing. And sometimes it was tight to get ice time and pay for trainers and clinics and all that stuff. But at the same time, don't even need to do that. Play in the street. My dad grew up playing in the street. They put 2 nets in. They move out of their cars. And do that every day. Mm-hmm. You don't need the expensive stuff. And then when you get to college or whatever, sometimes they let you go on the ice for nothing. So I think it's pretty much do what you can. If you think a kid wants to play hockey, try them out for deck. That's where I would start because it'll teach you this hand-eye coordination with the stick, and it's a lot cheaper than ice. And then if they see a passion for it, I'm not saying don't throw your kids on an ice hockey. I want my kid to be skating at 2 years old, give him the best advantage. But if he loves it in deck hockey and you see that, all right, then try him in roller. If you love skating, wow, try them in ice. I don't think it's that important to jump right to ice hockey because, again, I mean, my parents even said, why am I buying you new equipment when in less than a year you're going to grow out of the skates? Like your foot's growing, you're going to grow out the skates. Why am I going to spend $150, $200 on skates that aren't going to last? Get you stuff. Play It Again Sports on Long Island is a great place where it's pretty much anyone can return old equipment and they'll sell it to other people at a discount. Okay. So that's where I lived growing up. I would go into Play It Again Sports once a year, return stuff that didn't fit me anymore, get money back, and then spend it on a new glove or a new blocker. So you really don't have to go out and spending. I know it looks cool, all the new stuff. You want your kid to look the best, but it matters how they play. If they're wearing the crappy stuff, who cares? If they love it, they love it.
Yep. I think that, like he said, we got to start spreading it a little more. And this actually ties into what you asked Rick earlier about how to grow the game and why it's lagging behind, because it is very expensive, especially at youth sport level. Like Stefan said, you could be a size 4 skate one year, the next year size 6, and all of a sudden those $250 skates they're garbage, right? But I think that the onus falls more on teams and programs. I know at my old organization, the New York Stars, they had a big closet where it was just old equipment that people didn't fit in anymore, couldn't keep. And I know that I have like 7 or 8 sticks that are just sitting in my house now that I've just gradually gotten taller and they get too short and you just throw them aside. So I think that if teams every year can collect that equipment that's just a little older, doesn't fit, and give it to some kids that want to try it out and can have more of these learn to skate programs or have more of these initiatives where we can get some people that can't afford it just on the ice. Like even if there's a day where we do a swap, say, and it's a group of 12-year-old kids that have the equipment, give their equipment to people that are underprivileged, can't play, and they watch them and help them out and learn how to skate that way. There's just different initiatives that you could do to get people on the ice. And if you fall in love with it, then you start, like Stefan said, to build that up, or maybe you save this way and then buy this or get the cheaper equipment that they have at certain stores. So it's got to be a group effort. Everyone's got to chip in, donate stuff, donate time, equipment, and then you're going to start to see the youth game grow a lot more.
One thing I'll say on this is we partnered with a person named Tolik Bortz. One of our shows, we had him on. It was great. What he does is, first off, he turns old jerseys into masks. Wow. That you can wear. But besides that, is he's in Albany, but what he does is a couple of times a year, he'll drive around and pick up old jerseys, old equipment, and he'll bring it to an area where they can't afford it, and he'll hand it out to kids. It doesn't matter if the gloves they match, whatever it is. He does this on his own to bring and try to grow the sport. And I just shout out to Tolik Bortz. We met him. Great guy. His company's called Alternite. You go to alternite.com, and they're really trying to change the community, like what you just said, grow it in communities where they may not, maybe want to play hockey, and the parents go, we can't afford this. He's giving out equipment for free to these kids, and I know it definitely puts a smile on their face.
That's awesome. It's very commendable, and it's great because that's really what it's all about. Getting these kids involved, getting these kids active, especially now with the realm of social media, and nobody wants to play anything anymore. Wait on kids, Stefan. All right, you can be 2 years old. Just wait.
Wait on kids. I have NHL 21 ready to go once it hits midnight.
We're still kids.
I got my full-time job, and I went, well, this sucks. So, yeah.
So, before we let you go, so obviously you're big on baseball too. So what's your prediction? World Series and who takes it?
Oh, God.
For me, the Astros walked off today, and I want Tampa to end it. I want it to end it right now because I can't. If the Astros, first off, the only reason I want the Astros to make it is if Dodgers absolutely demolish them, but the Dodgers might not even make it. So at the same time, the Astros can't win. If the Astros win, they pretty much have everyone has to be quiet now because they didn't cheat and they did it anyway, and they were 2 games under 500 to go into the playoffs. So they have to lose. Legally, they have to lose. That can't happen. I want to see the Rays win though. Watching the Yankees-Rays series showed me that it doesn't matter if you're a small market team. A great coach and a great game plan could beat the juggernauts. Everybody loves an underdog story. And yes, if the Braves were to play the Rays, it's still, they're both small, not small market, but they're not the big dogs. So of course you want to see that. But at the end of the day, the Rays showed me that, the next man up attitude, but they're young players and players that you might not start on some teams or starting on their teams. The guy Rosner is absolutely incredible, and his story is amazing. This guy wasn't even playing many games during the regular season. He's been on other teams. So you definitely want him to, he's going to win. He should win MVP of of this series. So I definitely want the Rays to win it. I think, first off, if the Rays win it puts a lot of pressure on the Yankees, and I want that because they deserve to have as much pressure as possible.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
I'm a Yankee fan, but I think
they're all Yankee fans. I'm the odd man out.
No, but they underperformed this year, and they pretended like everything's okay. So if the Rays were to win it, it's the biggest like, all right, Yankees, you really have to do something because you just let a team that's a small market team that killed you during the regular season beat you in a big game, and then they won the World Series. I don't like the whole, oh, thank God the Rays won because the Yankees lost to the eventual World Series. I hate that.
I hate that too.
I hate that. So I just think the Yankees have a lot of pressure if the Rays win because they're the king of the AL East.
I am hoping the Braves win just because they've had such a long drought, and I'm hoping for a Braves and Rays World Series. That way something has to give. But at the same time, I think I've never seen a team benefit from a circumstance more than the Astros have benefited from no fans being in attendance.
100%.
I don't think that they would even have made a postseason if there were fans in attendance.
Total
just
agreement
because they're very young. Like the game today, I think every single pitcher that came out was a rookie until the end. And if those guys are coming into a postseason game, say, and there's 50,000 people screaming at them, it's a much different result. So I don't credit anything to the Astros. I think that they're benefiting from no crowd. And I also have never enjoyed somebody struggling to throw a ball 40 feet more than I am watching Jose Altuve. It reminds me of Chuck Knobloch watching those videos of him with the yips. And every time he throws it into the ground, I get up and I clap. And I'm like, good. That's for you holding your jersey like this when you had a wire under you.
I'm proud I can say I'm taller than him. So
tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, let it out. Yeah.
No, I mean, I hate Altuve, but at the same time, I think Correa has the big. I mean, Correa is so cocky and his big mouth that I really just want him to lose. I wanted to say on his gravestone asterisk, just a big asterisk. I'll add it after the fact, whatever. I just can't stand that. He comes out and talks. I think it was after they won the wild card series. They beat Oakland, and he comes out and goes, "What are you going to say now?" You just beat the Oakland Athletics. Or was it the Oakland Athletics?
No, it was the Twins. After they beat a team that's lost 17 or 18 straight.
Yeah, he had that nerve to come out and say, I mean, they hadn't done anything yet. Now if he comes out and says it and they win a World Series, then all right, whatever. Give him his 10 seconds of fame. But you actually know what you're right now.
No. High and in every single game next year once he gets to Yankee Stadium. The Rays have a stable of guys that throw 98. Let's let Chapman do what he did to Brosseau and just go right in every single pitch.
Well, what he did to Brosseau the first time, not
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, Braves and Rays is my hope.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's looking like that could be feasible, but I mean, let's see what the Astros. If the Astros keep picking up momentum,
that's why I'm nervous because they just actually crush baseballs and
Well, game 6 is a must win.
I think who's starting? Is Snell starting game 6?
I would think so.
I mean, listen, if it's momentum is the next game's pitcher, but to get back to the Yankees real quick, listen, they blew it in game 2. Boone got too cute, started that Delvey Garcia nonsense. You're the New York Yankees. You go in there, you blast them out of the field, and you move on. And instead, they like A-Rod said it. I don't know if you guys saw A-Rod's commentary on ESPN. He said you're trying to beat the Ivy Leaguers instead of just being the Yankees and blasting them, blasting away. Yeah. And that game cost them the series because that was all the momentum right there.
Well, it's funny because every team they talk about analytics, and the thing is everybody relies on analytics, but in that moment they relied on analytics too much. Let Deivi Garcia show them what you got. Yes, he gave up the home run. He could easily probably have gone 5 innings, allowing maybe 2 runs and give the Yankees a chance. Happ didn't want to do this anyway. He faked it that he did, and comes out later that he didn't want to, but clearly he didn't want to do that at all. Comes in and doesn't get the job done and makes everybody look like fools. And it's funny because everyone says, well, Yankees can't win if they don't hit home runs. Look at what the Rays did. Mm-hmm. The Rays crushed home runs. It wasn't the fact that it was just everyone's hitting home runs. The Astros are killing it. The Yankees just couldn't get the home run when it mattered. It's not like they didn't. I mean, you look at teams around the league, everyone's relying on the home run ball. It's 2020. It's launch angle. That's how people play now. But the Rays just knew how to come through in the biggest moment, and their bullpen was a lot better.
Yeah, I'm so tired of also hearing Boone and Cashman go, this season wasn't a failure. It was a failure. When you have 27 World Series championships, anything that's not a World Series is a failure. And that mentality of, it's okay to lose is why they're losing so much. The people that, when there was Steinbrenner in that office, if they lost, he would come out and say it's a failure. And it doesn't put your players down. It just shows we expect to win. And the mentality of losing in the ALCS continuously is okay, is really hurting this team. And you see it every single year in the postseason. They just have 2 or 3 moments where they could shine and they don't do it.
But the regular season was a failure. No one they expected them to no.
But you got to
failed.
shake that off. You got to shake that off.
No, you do. And luckily they got hot at the end, but at the same time they had a terrible they got in, and great that they got in because you know they make it to the playoffs every year. But that wasn't the Yankees that we're used to. They looked awful at times, and their defense was pathetic. This is a Yankees team that's supposed to be a team that other teams model. They have great fielding, great pitching, and their bullpen back end's usually great. Starting rotation was the whole year, and it's just the hitting. It was, I feel like with the shortened schedule, I'm not making excuses. Judge has to figure out how to figure it out in a short amount of time. I mean, he didn't. Everyone's saying, well, he didn't get enough at bats. Well, I don't buy that because people that get hot right away. I mean, Rosner didn't get enough bats. I'll tell you that right now. He did not get enough bats during the regular season to be crushing everything. So I feel like he's the proof right there that Judge could take 5 or 6 swings, and it should be good to go. You're a professional baseball player. I get it. You need to be in a rhythm, but at the same time, see guys that just turn up out of nowhere. So I feel like they didn't do what they had to do. And I think every year when you don't win, it's a failure. I mean, yes, some teams have no chance at winning ever, and they start the season going, all right, let's just try to be the best team. But when you have you're the Yankees, people are projecting you to do this. And, the Yankees, if they don't win the World Series, they get close and lose in the World Series, it's still a failure because you want to win. I feel like every sport, you start the season ends, and you go, like for the Islanders, they were 2 games away from the Stanley Cup. Was it a failed season? I mean, yeah, the goal of the season is to win a Stanley Cup, especially if you're thinking you're competitive enough. And clearly the Islanders were. They were 2 games away. You look at it and go, we had a good season, but we still failed. At the end of the day, if you don't win the thing in any sport, you failed.
Well said.
Yeah, well, I'm a Mets and a Jets fan, so
yeah, I'm a Jets fan, so it's like a failure after every Labor Day in September.
Well, no, but it's not a failure though, because the Jets need the number 1 overall pick. So what they're doing right now is actually succeeding.
How many quarterbacks can you take?
Don't try and put don't try and put a spin on it here.
Yeah, you're a Cowboys fan.
No, listen. I'm
Brendan's
not saying anything about that. I have watched so many teams with. And I'd honestly rather be a Jets fan where it's what to expect. It's going to be bad. The Cowboys have an offense that puts up 500 yards a game, and they can't win. Imagine not winning, scoring 40 points a game. I just every year it's the same thing. And honestly, we should all have a watch party next time the Jets play the Cowboys and just get absolutely obliterated because that's the only way those games are enjoyable.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, but it was a tough break with Dak.
Oh, that was scary.
Do you think they have a shot with Andy Dalton?
I think that they definitely have one of the best backups in the league. I mean, if you're going to transition, I don't know if he necessarily has the offense handled yet because anytime you come to a new team and then have to sit on the bench for the first 4.5 weeks, it's tough. But they have weapons. So, I mean, he was throwing to A.J. Green, Tyler Boyd, and they look really good that 1 year. Now he's got all these guys healthy. So you saw at the end of the game, he just tossed it up to Gallup, and he made that play. Yeah. If they can do something similar, they have to run the ball. I mean, we say it all the time. You got one of the best running backs in the league. Just give it to him. Let him do his job.
Sounds familiar, like a familiar conversation that should have happened with Gase and company because they had a guy that could easily do that. And
that was this whole thing with the Jets has been a mitigated disaster from the moment they hired the guy till the McCagnon firing till he didn't want Bell and it's just been an absolute disaster. And I just can't for the life of me. And me and Mike talk about this all the time. For the life of me, I can't understand how Joe Douglas and Christopher Johnson just don't see, like, your eyes aren't lying to you. Like, they can't see that this guy just can't coach. Like, he doesn't have respect for the players. He drives good players away. He cannot coach. And if anything, Sam has regressed under him. He hasn't gotten any better. No. He hasn't been any better. And they've gotten rid of all the good players. So, like, what in their right minds makes them think that this guy's gonna, let's say they go 0-16 and they bring him back. What makes them think they're gonna turn it around?
He's gonna mess up Trevor Lawrence.
No, I don't listen. If they draft Trevor Lawrence, I don't want him near Trevor Lawrence. I don't want him in Jersey. I don't want him in the tri-state area. Go back.
He might pull a Manning though. He might pull a Manning and say, "I'm not playing for the Jets." Trade me right now.
I'll tell you right now. If Trevor Lawrence says that, I wouldn't blame him one bit.
I wouldn't. Just nobody wants to go. They were talking about head coaches today. I was listening on the Fan about coaches that the Jets could go after, and then they finished with, "Yeah, but none of these guys would want to go to the Jets anyway. They'd rather just stay where they are right now."
I was thinking the other day that I think it was absolutely the right decision for Belichick to say, I don't want to come.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's be real. Like, he made the best decision of his life.
Yep. He signed on a napkin. That tells you all about the Jets.
He's a mad genius. He knew what was going to happen 20 years down the road. he knew there was going to be imbeciles in the front office, and and watch. I'm calling it right now. You're going to have in the Super Bowl. You're going to have Le'Veon Bell and the Chiefs against the Seattle Seahawks and Jamal Adams.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that, man. Don't even say that.
I don't think
calling
Seattle's
it right
getting there.
now.
You don't think Seattle's getting there the way
Russell
The way that what made me feel that way is that the Cowboys were in a one score with them, and their defense is awful. So if they play a team with a good defense, I don't know. I don't know how Seattle's going to be able to keep it going because their defense right now is injured, and they're a little bit decimated too. So they're good. Like, don't get me wrong, they're very good, but the Packers are also really good this year too. There's a lot of teams in the league. And I don't think anybody's beating the Chiefs again. That team's
not if they get Le'Veon Bell.
No, they already signed him.
He's good.
But look, if you're the Jets, you have to bring a professional coach in here. Like, you got to. For me, if they could somehow get Mike Tomlin to come here,
anybody in here, it's an upgrade.
Anybody, but no, they got to get like a guy with some credibility, like a legitimate coach. You get a Jim Harbaugh, you get a Mike Tomlin. If you're gonna go to the college ranks, you get a Lincoln Riley, but you got to get somebody in here who's got that aura, who's got that respect, who's going to command the locker room. That's what they need right now.
I agree.
If you're going to get every enemy, that's one thing. But don't bring one of these retreads in here. Don't get somebody who's a professional coach. That's what you need.
Peyton Manning screwed the Jets by backing up Gase, so twice. Yeah, I mean, it's just like but he wasn't even good when he coached with Miami, so I don't even understand. I didn't understand the whole signing anyway. And
his Bugsy-eyed press conference when he got introduced should have given it all away.
God,
but he has no accountability. I've never seen a coach that has zero. Like when they asked him about Le'Veon Bell, and I forgot what they asked him when he said it doesn't matter anymore. It's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. You're irrelevant.
Oh God!
Bad answer to give to the New York media. Like when you say that, you have to know it's going to come back at you.
Yeah. But it's one thing if he wasn't making the play calls. It was legit him. He had the opportunity to give Le'Veon Bell a chance to catch or do whatever he had to do and run, and he goes, "It's irrelevant now," which pretty much just said, "Yeah, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I should just get shot."
The best answer that he gave at one of those press conferences, he said that him and the coaching staff talked about whether he should give up the play calling, and they all came up to the conclusion that he shouldn't give up the play calling.
Yeah, he went like this and said, "Do you think I should give it up?" No, you shouldn't. All right, check.
He gave them all Amazon gift cards to say
exactly.
He shouldn't give it up.
Yeah, no, it was funny. I heard something funny on the radio the other day. I believe it was John Hansen on the Sirius XM. He goes, Adam Gase is talking about trying to figure out some things that'll ignite this offense, and John goes, Hey, Adam, you ever think about retiring? I mean, that's the truth. Like, he just needs to go.
Yeah.
Because if the front office can't understand that he needs to go and wants to drop their star running back who's worth a gajillion dollars for the year, yet you're gonna keep Adam Gase on there. It makes absolutely no sense, and it's frustrating to watch. But it just end the season. JETS, just end the season.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for coming on tonight. This was great. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having us.
This one went a little long.
It went a little longer, but we were having too much fun.
Good. So. Yeah, but no, you guys were great. We had a blast, and I'm sure we'll do it again sometime as well.
Definitely. We definitely all gotta catch up.
Yeah.
We gotta
go to a hockey game. Absolutely, 100%.
We gotta go to a hockey game.
New UBS Arena or something. We'll do it.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Tickets on Rick.
There you go. Exactly. It's on me.
There we go.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, man. That was a good one, man.
Yeah, man. Great.
We gotta go to a game with them. We gotta go to a game.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Atlanta. I was about to say the Atlanta Falcons. The Braves are up 3-1 right now.
All right.
Bottom 6, and they're still batting. Okay, so I guess we'll touch on NFL Week 6 preview real quick. Obviously there was no Thursday night game because the Chiefs Bills got moved to Monday night.
Yep.
So it's of course the best Thursday night game got moved, but
yeah.
Thursday night is usually, subpar scheduling, but Chiefs Bills, that's a good game. I mean, not after what the Bills did on Tuesday, but
yeah, they just took a dump on the field pretty much.
Yeah. All right, so let's pick a couple of games here. Oh, real quick though, Atlanta Falcons, couple of Falcons tested positive, but then it was after a few hours of contact tracing, they figured out it was assistant coach that hasn't been in contact with anybody. I made a joke with a friend. I said, "Oh, it must have been the defensive coordinator." But so
good one. Look at you being funny. Good one. Well played.
Yeah. So the Falcons Vikings is up in the air, but now they're saying that it might go on as scheduled on Sunday, but we don't want to talk about the Falcons anymore. We're not picking that game.
Oh, and on a side note, just a quick note on college football. Nick Saban got COVID-19, so he's in isolation right now, no symptoms. So hopefully, Coach Saban, if you're listening, you probably don't even know about the show, but we wish you the best. But listen, man, I mean, that's starting to affect big time coaches down there. But the difference with him is he's got insurance. He's making $7, $8, $9 million a year, and these kids ain't making any money. So, we hope he feels better. But
of course,
I mean, these college presidents, man, when they make these decisions, they got to remember these kids aren't getting paid, and guys like Nick Saban are making a ton of money. So take that into consideration next time. Yeah, and Nick Saban does watch our show. Oh, he does. Okay, Coach, thanks for watching. Yes, absolutely. So what's an interesting game? I don't know why I'm picking it, but it's pretty much a pick 'em. But the Bears at the Panthers, and it's a 1-point spread. So it's practically a pick 'em. But, the Bears have been playing well. The Panthers have been playing well. Not sure which way this one goes, but I'm giving it the edge to the Panthers on the fact that they're at home. I'm with you on that one. The Panthers are what, 2-3, 3-2? Panthers are 3-2. Yeah. And 3-2. The Bears, I believe, are 3-2. Quarter of the way there, Matt Rule's done a hell of a job with that team with no CMC, man, no Christian McCaffrey either. So I like the Panthers in this game. I'll take the Panthers in the play. I still don't trust the Bears quarterback situation, and so I'll take the Panthers in this game. I think the Panthers go 4-2. And through the first quarter of the season, listen, they played well. Robbie Anderson's averaging 100 yards a game. Unbelievable. That's another guy that might end up in the playoffs. Yeah, another guy who got away from Adam Gase. Yep. Hello, Christopher Johnson. Hello, Joe Douglas. I know he's your best friend. Got away from Adam Gase, and he's becoming a stud in the league. So, take note. Yeah, let's just keep piling on the names. Oh, let's talk about Ryan Tannehill, who's putting up monster numbers against the undefeated Buffalo Bills the other night on no practice for 2 weeks. But anyway. Yeah, that right there, Mike, that should tell you all you need to know. It does tell me all I need to know. I already knew. 2 years ago, I knew. I mean, it's incredible. All right, let me get my blood pressure boiling over here. But okay. So the Cleveland Browns have been hot. Yes. Red hot the last 3 games. And now they go to Heinz Field. They have not won at Heinz Field in a while. Tomlin pretty much owns the Browns at Heinz Field. It's a 3.5-point spread. The Steelers are favored at home. It's going to be a fun game to watch. I will give you that. But I think the Browns can keep it close enough to cover the 3.5, but I think the Steelers end up winning. I'm going to tell you right now, I will never go up against my boy Mike Tomlin. So long as that guy's coaching the team, I'm taking the Steelers in this one. They're what are they, 5-0 right now? Is that what their record is? 4-0, 5-0? Yeah. They're not losing this game. This kid, Chase Claypool, is a beast, man. He is an absolute stud, dude. You throw the ball anywhere near that kid, he's going to catch it. He's running all over the field. The Steelers are rolling right now, so I'm taking the Steelers to cover that 3.5. You think they cover it? Yeah, right. I think it's going to be a field goal game because I don't know. They always end up around there with with those divisional matchups. Close to field goal games. All right, you want to pick the next game? Yeah. This one is an interesting one. Cardinals at the Cowboys. Here in the DraftKings, the site that I'm looking at. Cardinals Cowboys is Monday night, and it's 1.5. The Cardinals are giving 1.5 at AT&T Stadium. I'll go first. Look, and we talked about this in a segment with our other guests. The Cowboys have no defense, and I don't know how they stopped DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know how they stopped Larry Fitzgerald. Kenyon Drake. Kyler Murray's going to be running all over the place. I know it's on the road, but I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one, -1.5 over the Cowboys. And also, you got Andy Dalton starting. So obviously they got some tape on him. How's he going to play with the offense? Will things change? So I'm going to take the Cardinals -1.5 here against the Cowboys.
I agree. I can't trust Dalton. I just can't trust him. He'll probably throw for a couple of touchdowns against the Cardinals, but it's the Cardinals have too many pieces on that offense. You got to remember Larry Fitzgerald's their number 3 wide receiver. I mean, that's all you got to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
incredible, right? I mean, and that guy, the longevity that Larry Fitzgerald, that's incredible, man. That guy's a beast. It's amazing.
Well, maybe he could retire after this year and then become a Jets coach. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to University of Phoenix. I'm sure he's smart.
Yeah. Well, you're on the roll today, boy. You got the jokes going today. All right.
So we're gonna go with the hometown teams.
We'll go. Let's pick one more. Which one? Packers at Bucks. On my DraftKings Nation here, I got the Packers. It looks like it swung Packers 1.5.
I have it at 1, but
okay, Packers -1.
So it's practically a pick 'em, and it's in Tampa. Yeah, I mean, Rodgers versus Brady in an NFC matchup. Whoa.
It's a pick 'em game. I'm gonna go with the Packers -1 here. Aaron Rodgers just playing lights out.
And Devontae Adams comes back.
And he's coming back. Might be a little rusty, but he's coming back. I know the Buccaneers had a big injury on defense. One of their defensive tackles is out, broke his ankle. But I just like the way the Packers are playing right now. They got a lot of momentum going on their side. Aaron Rodgers is lights out right now. So I'm taking, and Brady, I saw him screaming on the sidelines last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the Packers -1 here going into Tampa.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Rodgers is having that quiet MVP-like season.
Yep, exactly.
So, he just quietly does these things, throws for multiple touchdowns, throws for 300, 400 yards a game. And, forget about just Rodgers. You got Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams. So they got a lot of pieces in that offense. And Tampa Bay, I don't know. I just they haven't been looking too uber impressive this season. Right. I mean, let's just bring it back to last week. Justin Herbert threw 4 touchdown passes against the Saints in the Superdome, and Tom Brady threw 1 or 2?
I think it was 2
in week 1. I mean, it's Brady's a little on the old side, and he's not what he once was. He's still great, still a great mind, behind the game and all that. But, Rodgers is a lot younger, and he's got a lot more pop and pep in his step. So
absolutely,
it's definitely going to be Rodgers there. So are we just saying screw you to the New York teams?
We'll do our locals real quick. We'll start with
real quick. So we got the Giants at home against Washington. I don't know who's starting that game. I hope it's Alex Smith, but Washington is getting 2.5 at MetLife Stadium. So the Giants are favored in this game. I mean, that's all you have to say about the NFC East.
Well, here's the thing. The quarterback situation there in Washington is the issue. Is it going to be Kyle Allen? Is it going to be Alex Smith? I think this is the game where the Giants get their win. It's going to be at home. I think this is the game where they get their win. I think just right now with the whole Dwayne Haskins thing going on there, they're trying to trade him, and the instability at the quarterback position. I think there's just a lot going on there. And I think this is where instead of 2 picks, Daniel Jones gives them 1. But in the end, I think the Giants pull out a W here. So I'm taking the Giants to cover the spread here.
I think if Alex Smith starts this game, I take Washington. So I can't really. If Alex Smith starts the game, Washington wins. If Alex Smith does not, the Giants cover.
Got it. And then our final game, folks, and we're sorry to do this to you. We got our beloved New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. Right here on the DraftKings Nation over under, I have the Dolphins -8. Where do you got them at, Mike?
I have them at -9.5.
-9.5. I'm going to tell you right now.
Let me refresh it. Maybe it's changed.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, folks. Take the Dolphins -9.5. I think the Jets come out uninspired. I think they come out flat. I don't think Joe Flacco lights it up.
No Adam Gase revenge game?
No Adam Gase revenge.
No Frank Gore revenge game?
No, not at all. I mean, you're gonna You're gonna see.
You're gonna see Ryan Fitzpatrick revenge game.
Exactly, but you're gonna see LaMichael Perine play a little more. Hopefully, I mean, I read an actual report that Denzel Mims was actually running routes in practice. So who knows? But I'm taking the Dolphins -9.5. It could be -15. I'm taking the Dolphins. I just think with the whole Le'Veon Bell situation, what's going on with Adam Gase, just the dysfunction in the organization right now, the Jets are just not capable of winning this game. I don't see them winning any game, to be honest with you. So I'm taking the Dolphins, whatever the spread is, 8, 9. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree. Dolphins.
Yep.
And it's sad to say.
Sad. Yeah,
it's sad to say that the team that was tanking last year, well, at least for half the season.
Yeah,
they're favored by 9.5 against our Jets, and it's not even it's a no-brainer for us to pick it.
And you know what the worst part about this is? I'm gonna sit there. I don't know about you. I'm gonna sit there on my couch like an asshole, and we're on a podcast, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna put my Boomer Esiason number 7 on jersey, and I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna hope, and I'm gonna be cheering. Don't ask me why. And you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be touchdown Dolphins.
What do you have to cheer about?
I said, I want to cheer. I want to spend the Sunday enjoying a football Sunday, not watching Red Zone, not watching flipping to another game. My beloved Jets in a competitive game, but that's not going to happen. Why? Because I like misery. I like agony. I like torture. I like to suffer. And I'm going to sit through 3 hours of that because that's how loyal I am. So, it's going to be brutal, but they're going to lose. And that's that.
Could somebody explain to me why they got a 4:00 game? Aren't they supposed to be marquee games at 4:00?
Yeah, put that. I don't know. The NFL, who knows, man? I don't know what's going on with the NFL.
Oh my god!
You know why?
I'll tell you one thing. I'm watching Packers Bucks on that one.
100%. No, you know why I think it's 4:00? Because they were supposed to play the Chargers this week.
Yeah,
I think they were scheduled for the 4:00 because
you're right.
And they kept them on there.
Chargers, yeah.
But why do that to the people, man? I mean, the NFL fan doesn't deserve that, but it's just what it is.
Yeah, the brutal. Prolonging the Justin Herbert ass whooping of the Jets for a few weeks.
Yeah. All right, folks. That wraps it up for tonight.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'd
like to thank our guests.
Yes. Thanks to Brendan and Stefen, not Stefan. But
you can catch their
BS Sports Show. Look them up on Twitter at BS Sports Show, and they're also on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Mm-hmm. So definitely take a listen. It was great. I mean, you just saw them, ripping it up, with the the hockey and the baseball over here and some football. So these guys know what they're talking about, and they bounce off each other well. So definitely check them out. And thank you all for joining us. And we will be back next week, Tuesday,
absolutely,
9 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All right. Have a great weekend and enjoy week 6 of the NFL. And let's see what happens with these. It's 6-1 Atlanta in the bottom of the 6th. So they're really putting it on, in the 6th inning here. So, have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.